Today's show is brought to you by Hospital Pass Productions.
Marchand scores! They did it! 2 goals with the goalie pump!
And he's just yapping all the way to the box. Vanek walks around Postma! He scores! What a move by Vanek!
How's he going to make this save? Look at this stick. Oh my God! The first one is definitely a highlight one.
Jake Allen on Dano! Are you kidding me?
Holy jumping! That can't be right!
First NHL game, the shot scores! Frank Petrello gets his first NHL goal!
A standing ovation.
Phenomenal goal by Evgeny Malkin.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kyle. This is Kevin. We're here with another episode of Light the Lamp. We're here especially for you. Just for you. Hospital Pass Productions. Ouch. That's I like the distance here. I can do a little hockey thing. I know, yeah. You can make movements and everything. It's good. It's good. So today, we're here today to do a couple things. Number one, we're going to be talking about the Stanley Cup. Finals. We're going to be talking about the Sharks. We're going to be talking about the Penguins. No, we're talking about the Penguins. Nobody wants to talk about the Penguins. Hey. Don't hate, alright? Appreciate. I ain't hating nothing. And we're also going to be talking about... Penguins aren't hating their bootios, because they ain't booty. We're talking about the punishments. Your boy over here... Actually, I'm not your boy. I'm not gangster. I over here am doing the Ice Bucket Challenge, or the Ice Water Challenge, because ice falls, hits your head from a high distance. It's going to hurt how you do. Yeah. And he's got some other special surprise instead of a pie in the face, which I'm not happy about. But he better keep that soft and sweet, because this guy over here, this virulent son of a bitch, has to drink a dirty shot of whatever I've decided to make up. Maybe it'll be the suicide, where I just find whatever liquids are in my fridge and I just dump them into a shot glass and he's got to drink it. If he throws up, well, hey, fuck it, whatever. Now, you know what? We're here for you today. We're here to make you laugh. We're here to make you smile, put a smile on your face. And at our expense, of course. And stay tuned for a future episode coming up really quick, probably like right around the corner. Maybe Memorial Day, maybe a special shout out to the troops Memorial Day. Special shout out to the troops anyway. Yeah. Have a Memorial Day. Yeah. But maybe we appreciate you. We'll come with the Monday show. To all our military. As Sam would say, to all our military. To all our military. We'll come with the Monday show. We'll talk about the remaining rosters that will, actually all the rosters that were finalized for the World Cup of Hockey coming up in September. And we'll talk about the huge wrestling news, but you're going to have to wait to find out what that quite is. Mm-hmm. But for now, the Stanley Cup playoffs are upon us, as you all know. The Stanley Cup finals are now upon us. Maybe you don't know that. Starting Monday on Memorial Day, the San Jose Sharks will make their first attempt to win the Stanley Cup in Pittsburgh against the Penguins. Penguins won 2-1 the other night in Game 7. Brandon Rust. Was it Brandon or Brian? I think it's Brian Rust. Yeah. Brian Rust came out of nowhere. This guy right here is the reason why teams can win the Stanley Cup Finals. Somebody you do not expect. You go to a Game 7. All right, listen. Tampa Bay had Stamkos back. They had all of their regular players in. Pittsburgh, of course, has Crosby and Malkin and Letang and Hornquist, and I could just go on and on all day with the list. Yeah. But no, I believe it's Brian Rust. 2 goals. One of them was a bit soft. The second one that he scored against Andrei Vasilevsky. But hey, you know what? It happens. It was a bouncy puck, and he took advantage of it, and that ended up being the game winner. So congratulations to the Pittsburgh Penguins on punching their ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals. First time since 2009. Yeah. And the other team on the opposite side of that spectrum, boys from San Jose. Yeah. San Jose Sharks. Nobody thought that they could do it unless maybe you were from San Jose. But, I mean, I did say that I thought St. Louis was going to win it. I did think St. Louis was going to win. I thought that they were mentally prepared to do so. I clearly was wrong. Yeah. Better luck next year, St. Louis. Yeah, but the Sharks deservedly fought hard for it, so. A six-game victory with an absolute, I don't want to necessarily say it was a blowout, but up until St. Louis scored 2 goals late, it was 4-0, and that game was pretty much rock chalked up. There was no doubt that St. Louis was not coming back from 4 goals against San Jose in San Jose. Yeah. So I believe Game 1 is Monday. Game 2 I think is Wednesday or Thursday. They skip a lot of days. Like they're dragging this out from like the end of like the 31st is the first game, yeah, and a possible Game 7 is the
15th of June.
Wow.
So they're really stretching out. It's not the every other day. It's like a game, 2 days off. A game, travel day, 3 days off. Another game, 2 days off. So they're really spreading it out.
Yeah.
Most of the games look like they're going to be on NBC in prime time, which makes me happy because now that means I have to watch hockey in prime time. Haha. And I think one game's on NBCSN.
Okay.
But it looks like it's going to be a good series. I mean, I'll be honest, I feel like 95% of the country is probably rooting for the San Jose Sharks, and there's this little yellow splotch from Pennsylvania that roots for the Penguins. The rest of the whole country, I'm guessing, is probably covered in teal. I can't speak for how Canada goes. Maybe Canada's 50-50. Maybe you like Crosby, maybe you don't. I'm going to say probably most people in Canada don't like Crosby because he's not on their team.
Yeah.
So I would say that it would just go to the Sharks. Plus, a lot of teams want to see, people want to see a new team, a new winner. I'll say this, though, for the Penguins. Last time the Penguins made the Stanley Cup Finals... God bless you. Thank you. Last time the Penguins made the Stanley Cup Finals was in 2009. And that was the same year that they won because Crosby beat Ovechkin in a playoff series.
Oh, yeah.
So keep an eye on that. But I don't know. I mean, you got Thornton and Marleau. They have never made a Stanley Cup. Marleau's been on the Sharks since 97 or 98 when he got drafted. Thornton joined 6-7 years later when he got traded from Boston. Obviously, as a Bruins fan, I kind of, And for those of you who don't know, there was an allegiance for the Sharks a couple of years ago that I had, and I still pitch it just a little bit. Not quite as loud as it was before. It's tuned down just a bit.
I will say this much, and I will give the Sharks credit. I think that the Sharks are a hungry team. If they're going to do it, they need to do it right now. Otherwise...
I see your Penguin, and it's just going to get sweet. That's right, you just do it. There's going to be power plays for days.
I have to do it, but in the long run, I still have Penguins in 6.
It'll be an interesting goal matchup, that's for sure. And I'll tell you one thing, San Jose, making it all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, not necessarily riding Martin Jones the entire series, but Martin Jones at one point was going to be a backup for the Bruins. The Sharks decided to go out and make a trade for him, and now Martin Jones essentially has led the Sharks a majority of the time to the Stanley Cup Finals. So, and depending on now where San Jose goes, Boston will get another pick out of this, so they'll have the 14th pick, either the 29th or the 30th pick. I really hope I'd like to see San Jose win. I mean, 25th anniversary of the San Jose Sharks as a franchise. Pittsburgh, you've won it 3 times, so go fuck yourself. I mean, seriously, I'm not saying that the NHL is going to try to throw the games like they may be doing the NBA or in other sports, but I do feel like there'll be sentimental...
There's going to be a lot of people that want the Sharks
absolutely.
in it to win it.
Absolutely. And, I mean, who knows? I mean, if Marleau and Thornton win, Thornton may play in the World Cup of Hockey and then go, you know what? I'm good. And retire right there on the spot.
Yeah.
And same thing with Marleau. I mean, this is probably the best chance they're going to get. A year when the Blackhawks were out early, the Blues were out, the Kings were out early. This is your year to do it. Pittsburgh can make it. The East is weak. I'll give it that. The East is weak. Anybody could have come out of the East. The Islanders could have come out of the East, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
The West was a little bit more. A lot of people thought it was going to be the Blues or the Blackhawks or the Kings, and of all teams, it's the Sharks.
True.
The Sharks.
However, I will say that the East was weak in certain aspects, but in the other aspects, look at how the Penguins had to go through in order to get here. They had to face Washington, and then they had to face Lightning. Whereas the Sharks had to face...
See, I can't give any credit to... I feel like the Sharks had a tougher route than the Penguins did. The Penguins played their first round match against the Rangers. Okay, the Rangers were a little bit weak. They should have been a lot better than they were, and they got pretty much trounced by the Penguins.
Yeah.
And they played the Capitals, the President's Trophy winners. But everybody knows the Capitals were going to choke, and they did. Then they played the Tampa Bay Lightning, who steamrolled through the Red Wings and the Islanders, which wasn't even a challenge. And the Lightning did bring them to Game 7 without Steven Stamkos.
Yeah.
On the flip side, though, Pittsburgh had to go through a former 2 or 3 time Stanley Cup champion, the Los Angeles Kings. Then they had to battle the Nashville Predators, who, I mean, listen, I know it's Nashville, but they did get through Anaheim, and they did push the Sharks to a Game 7. And then, of course, they go through St. Louis, who had to go through Dallas and Chicago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, St. Louis was a battle-tested team. I think at the end of the day, though, St. Louis just not being able to close out games or win big games. I mean, 2 Game 7s in the first 2 rounds for St. Louis, and then a Game 6 defeat to the Sharks. It'll be interesting. Obviously, with most series, San Jose's got to take Game 1, got to take the momentum in the series. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I honestly think that it's going to be a good series either way it goes. I mean, obviously, you want to see either team. Both teams are deservedly, in it to win it. So,
we'll elaborate more on this when we do our hockey show, when we do another show in a couple days. But for now, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little toasty out here today in Connecticut, so we need to do some punishments. But obviously, we can't do the punishments here, so we're gonna do a quick little change-a-roo, and we'll be back with more content, exciting content for the first time in a long time. Actually, for the first time ever.
Yeah.
On Light the Lamp, brought to you by Hospital Pass Productions. Before we go though, special shout out to Ben Sound Productions, which I know provides some of our music. We have a new intro coming, so Ben Sound, we didn't need you, but we do have you in the background.
Yep.
And of course the K&M and A&J All-Star Sports. A special announcement from K&M though. They do have in July coming Dwight Gooden, pitcher for the '86 Mets and pitcher for the Yankees, who actually threw a no-hitter as a Yankee and won the World Series as part of the '86 Mets, coming to K&M. And they also have Mr. Lucha Libre himself, Rey Mysterio. We are going to try to get a interview, maybe for 5 or 10 minutes. If they got some side time, maybe we can come early, maybe we can come later. I'm actually not putting all my eggs in the basket. I'm not putting any eggs in the basket. I'm giving it a 0 chance of happening, because I understand that the athletes, they want to do their own thing. We're not really that big of an established show, but maybe just a quick couple questions, and maybe they could do a quick intro for us. Hey, this is, hey, I'm Dwight Gooden, and you're watching Light the Lamp. That'll help us in the long run. Post that on Facebook, which we need to do a little bit more of that too. Posting more videos on Facebook, and then saying, hey, check out more, posting a quick 15-30 second video of just us talking. Go check out, YouTube for the remainder of the show, and leave a like and a comment and stuff. So so we'll be right back. We're going to I gotta throw my shorts off. I've got a bathing suit underneath because I'm gonna get doused with water, and it's gonna be dreadful. But this is the right setting, so that was easy.